Okay, so second part of this little demonstration or video, I guess, is we're going to talk about test driving for engine performance. Again, like last time, I'm going to stress safety. Can't say that enough. Be safe out there, guys. Watch out for bikes, watch out for pedestrians, watch out for animals, watch out for other cars. Um, it's one of the things that you need to do to pick a predetermined route. We went over that in the first video at length. Obviously, keep that in mind. So, just not going to go over that too many more times. But the differences then between like test driving for noise and engine performance. Engine performance requires probably two people more often than not. A lot of times you're going to be using a scanner. You're going to be doing snapshot stuff. You might be just going out to make sure that you can duplicate a problem. Again, research with your service writer, research with your mentor if he's handing the work to you. Um, Read the repair order, get a good handle on what's going on with the car before you start. Secondly, you're going to want to have another, again, a predetermined route, and this may be different than the one you want for noise. You're not probably going down some back rough alley. You want to be out where you can, be able to accelerate and decelerate and brake and stop, pull over if you have to, and somewhere that it's convenient for you to do that. I think that's the biggest thing that you can do. Again, the route is so important. Find do some research, see what everybody else does. And a lot of times there'll be routes that everybody knows about. You don't even have to think about it. You just go do it. So um, with that in mind, a couple of tips for as far as test driving for engine performance issues is don't be afraid to put the car through its paces. One of the first lessons I learned as a technician was I was looking for a secondary ignition miss, and the car had to be hot, and I went out and drove it, and I was way too easy on the car. I didn't get it. I didn't use the style of driving that the customer did, and so a mentor of mine went with me and said, "Well, look, you gotta. There's a time and place or where you want to really put the car through the paces, and you want to drive it a little harder to its maybe not to its limits. And I'm not saying that you're going to go all hot rod on it, but there's a time to put the pedal down, and there's also a time to drive easy. And so I think kind of getting in tune with, if you can and you have the opportunity to, some of you are in way too big of shops to do this, but where you can actually kind of have an idea what the driving style might be of the customer. Your service writer can help you with that. Uh, Obviously, you're kind of going to, in one form or another, to some degree, profile that particular customer and how they might be driving. You can't always talk to them. Sometimes there's times when you actually have to go for a test drive with a customer and have them tell you how to duplicate it. Uh, Rule one of test driving, again in the PowerPoint, and if you watch that again, is always drive the car yourself. You never let the customer drive unless it's absolutely needed, and one of the biggest reasons for that is that they aren't the expert at the route. They aren't the expert at being able to put the car and knowing how it works. They're going to just be. They should be able to tell you how you can do that. And so that's things to keep in mind. Engine performance, driving it through its paces. Obviously, there's things you can do in the stall that are basically not going anywhere. There's power braking if you have an automatic transmission, putting the engine under load at a stop. With new drive-by-wire systems, sometimes that's hard, but even in the parking lot, again, in your route, find a parking lot that you can use for things like this. Um, and then sometimes it's just plain just putting miles on the car. Um, that's it's something we don't get paid much for, and things like that, but it's really important. Um, there's also, like I said, a million times where you need maybe one or two people in the car, um, and maybe you got to look for that snapshot information. Maybe you've got a sensor that just drops off. Maybe it's a hiccup just every once in a while. So you're going to want to get all prepared before you start. Again, it's get your scan tool, whatever, get it in the car, get it hooked up, get ready to go, plan your route. Figure out where you're going to go, how you're going to have, what you're going to have to do to make the car perform in a manner that will duplicate the concern. Sometimes it might be leaving the car run for a while before you even get started. So, get it hot. Do what you can to be efficient and figure out a way. Again, listen to your mentor, find out what they think about routes and tips that they might have for you. And I'm sure there's some guys out there right now that are really good at it, and they have specific pattern failures on certain cars, and they know how to make things do it. But listen to all that and be a sponge and really absorb all that, and then develop your own set of skills in that manner. So um, you can, again, there's several different tips. There's a million different things you can do as far as test driving. Sometimes your service bulletins will even give you tips on that. So anyway, develop a plan, be safe. Good luck finding those misfires and hiccups and hesitations and so on and so forth, and be safe. Again, the most important thing you can do is be safe and plan a route. That, I bid you farewell. Have a great day.